Hi everyone. I wanted to come today and share with you something that has been laid on my heart to talk about. I just finished this book and it really convicted me about some things, and it taught me so much, not only about life and how to deal with my family and my friends and extended relatives, but just people in general who you meet on a day-to-day basis. And when something touches you in such a way, you want to share it and you want to tell people about it. So I just kind of wanted to make a few quick videos and just share what I got out of this book. It's called How to Influence People and Win Friends. And I know the title's kind of cheesy, and you think, at first I thought, that sounds kind of manipulative, how to win friends and influence people. But really, it's just a book about how to be a decent human being and how people deserve to be treated, and how you can show people that you care and you actually want to be their friend and you want to connect with them and you want to just be a part of their life. And it talks about how to get through different conflicts and how to deal with different types of people, and I just really feel like it could help anybody if you're if you own your own business, or if you're married, or if you have children, or if you have any type of relative, or if you teach. If you have coworkers, if you have a boss, it could help anybody. So I just was really convicted to share what I got out of it. And these are probably going to be very awkward. I'm not good at this. But when I feel convicted about something like this as strongly as I do, especially with the whole political junk going on and the election right around the corner, I just think it's nice to have a reminder that we are all on this earth together, and God placed us all here together to get along, not to have the same opinions and views, but to allow different opinions and views to shape us and mold us and influence how we deal with other people, and just you can have your own mind and your own mindset and your own ideas, but still treat them with respect and love, and just to be nice. My whole motto with all this election stuff that's been going on is to just be nice. Just be a nice person. Be a good, decent human being, and be nice to people. You never know what they're going through. So anyway, it's divided up into different parts. So today I'm just going to talk about part one, and I'm just going to give some examples straight from his book, so don't think I'm plagiarizing. These are all his words, and so let's start with this one. Okay, it says, fundamental techniques in handling people. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes him strive to justify himself. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's precious pride, hurts his sense of importance, and arouses resentment. Let's realize that criticisms are like homing pigeons. They always return home. Let's realize that the person we are going to correct and condemn will probably justify himself or herself and condemn us in return. When dealing with people, let us remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic. We are dealing with creatures of emotion, creatures bristling with prejudices and motivated by pride and vanity. Any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do, but it takes character and self-control to be understanding and forgiving. Instead of condemning people, let's try and understand them. Let's try and figure out why they do what they do. That's a lot more profitable and intriguing than criticism, and it breeds sympathy, tolerances, and kindness. This kind of makes me think of like when I'm trying to tell my kids to do something or to do it better. Right now, their big habit is if I say, you need to clean your room because it is a disaster. Instead of just saying, okay, Mom, yes, ma'am, they say, oh, I know, I planned on doing that. Oh, I was going to do that. Or, well, I was going to, but I was doing school instead, or I was reading instead, to try and make it sound like they had a good excuse for not getting it done when they were supposed to in the first place. So that is human habit. That is our, we tend to be defensive if somebody condemns us, criticizes us, and we go back to, well, that's just how I am, and I couldn't have done it any better if I tried. And so there's really no point in criticizing people. You can not agree with what they say, but you don't have to be critical and hurtful and hateful. Because you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what type of day they've had. You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what experiences they have had in their life that lead to the decisions and the beliefs that they have. You just don't know. So don't criticize people. If you don't agree with them, so be it. Know that within yourself and move on. Okay, number 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. This is a big one for me, especially after working in the restaurant industry, because, oh my word, people are so rude. They are so unappreciative, and I don't understand how you can be mean to somebody who has served you, and just to not show any appreciation. So this is a big one for me. He says, there is only one way under high heaven to get anybody to do anything. Yes, just one way, and that is by making the other person want to do it. Some of the things most people want include health and the preservation of life, food, sleep, money and the things money will buy, life in the hereafter, sexual gratification, the well-being of our children, and the feelings of importance. 1/2 of all mental diseases can be attributed to such physical causes such as brain lesions, alcohol, toxins, and injuries. But the other half, and this is the appealing part, the other half of the people who go insane apparently have nothing organically wrong with their brain cells. If some people are so hungry for a feeling of importance that they actually go insane to achieve it, imagine, this is huge, y'all, listen to me, imagine what miracle you and I can achieve by giving people honest appreciation this side of insanity. In the book, it talks about how a lady faked a disease for years so her mother would serve her, so her mother would bring her meals, so her mother would show her that she loved her. And the mother died of exhaustion. And when the mom died and she didn't have that person to do that for her anymore, she got out of bed and she started living life for herself. People will go insane if they do not get the appreciation that they deserve and that they need. In the long run, flattery will do you more harm than good. Flattery is counterfeit, and like counterfeit money, it will eventually get you into trouble if you pass it to someone else. The difference between appreciation and flattery is simple. One is sincere, the other is insincere. One comes from the heart out, the other from the teeth out. One is unselfish, the other selfish. One is universally admired, the other is universally condemned. One of the most neglected virtues in our daily existence is appreciation. Try leaving a friendly trail of little sparks of gratitude in your daily trips. This kind of is something that I have been trying to work on for a while, and not trying to make myself sound good or anything, but I wanted to give you a little example of how I put this into practice. As some of you know, we just moved to a new city, and so there are days that are hard. There are days that I miss knowing people when I go places, or knowing I can call somebody and go have coffee with them if I need to talk to somebody. There's days I really miss my mom. I miss just being able to drive 2 hours and give her a hug when I need it. So I was wasting some time while Jayla was at ballet, and I had run into the mall and was just kind of shopping around, looking around, and picked up a few tops for her. And the lady, I had been having a really rough day, and the lady didn't know that, and she was so nice. She was so nice, and she changed my entire day. She changed the way I felt when I walked out of the building. Y'all, I called and told her manager the next day how much she impacted my life, because how many salespeople are nice, and even though that's their job and that's what they get paid for, they still don't ever hear a sincere thank you. She wasn't being nice to me because that was what she was getting paid for. There was an extra level of kindness that came from her that day, and when I left feeling different than I did when I went in, she deserved to be praised. She deserved to have that extra appreciation. She earned it. So try leaving a friendly trail of little sparks of gratitude. Just smile at people and say thank you. Smile at people and say have a great day, and mean it. If you want them to have a good day, then mean it. If you don't want them to have a good day, then there is something wrong with you. Be nice. One of the quotes that he gives is, be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise, and people will cherish your words and treasure them and repeat them over a lifetime. Repeat them years after you have forgotten them. If you give somebody a genuine compliment, they will remember it forever. Forever. One thing I love about my daughter so much is that she has something good to say about anybody that she meets. Whether it's something simple like, I like your earrings, or it's really a big thing, like, complimenting them on their personality, or, she finds something good to say about everybody. And I want to do that more. I want to be more like that. That's what I strive for. The third point he made in this section was arouse in the other person an eager want. This can be used more for business, but it also kind of can be used for, like, I struggle with Jackson and his writing, and so I've got to find a way to make him want to write well, not just write to get it over with and do the bare minimum. So this kind of can go with a business thing, but once again, it can go with any relationship that you have. If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. With this election stuff, people definitely have their own points of view. But what I have found to be so sad and so heartbreaking is if people don't approve of their point of view, or if they disagree with their point of view, they feel like they have the right to just be hateful and criticize and bash and just like I said, you don't know the experiences that people have gone through to get them to the beliefs that they have. So even though I may not agree with everything that everybody else does, I'm going to listen to why they think the way they do, what has led them to that decision, and then I'm going to think about it for a while. I'm going to think about it, I'm going to pray about it, I'm going to research it if needed to, and I'm going to try and understand. I may come to the same conclusion where I say, that's what you believe and that's fine. It is not what I believe. But we can still be friends. We can still coexist politely with each other. So it's really not, it does nobody any good to just be hateful and be mean and cut them out of your life completely just because they don't agree with you. An increased tendency to think always in terms of other people's point of view, and see things from their angle may easily prove to be one of the building blocks of your career or your life. Arouse in the other person an eager want. He who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. How many of those people do you know that like to argue with other people, tell them that they're wrong, slander them, spread rumors about them? How many of those people do that have a ton of just really good friends, or one? How many of them tend to be lonely and alone and kind of self-absorbed? So think about other people and think about what they would want. Think about how you would want them to treat you. Don't say anything to them that you wouldn't say to your husband or your parents or somebody that you loved dearly. Self-expression is the dominant necessity of human nature. When we have a brilliant idea, instead of making others think it's ours, why not let them cook and stir the idea themselves? They will then regard it as their own, they will like it, and maybe eat a couple of helpings of it. That's, we can't convince somebody to think a different way than what they do. But we can put little nuggets of information, give them that information a little at a time. Let them, like I said, let them mull it over, let them think about it, let them, sleep on it. And you'd be surprised at how many times people come back and go, you know what, I had this great idea. Or you know what, I've been thinking, and the way I've been thinking isn't really right. Men are notorious for this, aren't they? If you want something done in the house and you ask them to do it, you ask them over and over and over, and it never happens. But you give them little statements here and there, little ideas here and there, and then all of a sudden they go, hey, you know what would be a really good idea? I think it would be a good idea to retile that floor in there because, it's kind of old, and I thought that would be a good idea. Really, I've only been saying that for 3 months now. But you know what? When it's their idea and they do it well and they believe it. And so, you don't have to agree with everybody. That's not what I'm trying to say, is to try and get people to always agree with you or go along with your ideas. But just try and understand where they're coming from. Try and see things from their point of view. And if there's something that you really want to get across to them, like if you'll write better papers, you'll get better grades, which means you'll get into a better college. Instead of criticizing them, just praise them for the job that they did do. Even if it's a little part of the job, find something and praise them on that. And then just gently remind them that, hey, maybe next time we can work on this and do it this way, or we can add in this. And it just will make everybody in life easier to be around, more pleasant to be around, and belong together without this hatred and this condemnation and this criticism. It has really bothered me seeing how people have treated each other recently. This is really not the world I want my kids to grow up in. And so maybe that's why this book hit me so hard, and feeling that I need to say something about what I've learned has hit me so hard. And, you can disagree with me, and it's okay. So, I hope everybody's having a great day, and I look forward to kind of giving you more nuggets, ideas, what I got from this book, because, we all want to be liked, and we all want a sense of importance, and we want people to appreciate us. So if this helps anybody else like it's helped me kind of see things in a different way, then my awkward video making will be worth it. So I hope you're having a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.